All right, all right, all right, all right, all right, all right. Day 3, Diddy's trial. Cloud Babies, Elevation Nation. Once again, I'm here. Tony Remy, if you don't know the name. But once again, we are here. Day 3, Diddy's trial is going crazy. Michael B. Jordan on the witness list. I mean, you can't get better than this. It's only day 3. It's going to be a crazy, crazy next month. Like, I think the trial is going to take a whole month. But yeah, it's going to be crazy. So they selected a jury to 45. They cut it down to 45, and it is expected to be done by Friday. So Friday is that's it. We're gonna start trial on Monday. 45 jurors at the moment. They're gonna do a process of elimination, bring it down to 12. Before, I think on Monday they started with 145. Now it's 45. So during that process, they reveal a list of high profile witnesses that will be showing up there. So that's including Michael B. Jordan, which is out of nowhere, right? Kanye West, Kid Cudi, and Mike Myers, from Austin Powers. So for Michael B. Jordan, it's mentioned that due to his brief romantic involvement with Diddy's ex, so he was dating Cassie during the time of 2015, and allegedly Diddy threatened him. I could see that, but come on, son. We saw Creed. We saw Creed. Jordan would have put hands on him. But anyway, we also have Kid Cudi because Kid Cudi also used to date Cassie, and then allegedly Diddy wanted to put a bomb in his car on some mafia craziness, right? And Kanye West because Kanye West always support him in public and all this craziness. And then for Mike Myers, only because in the movie Austin Powers, right, in Goldmembers, he had a tattoo of E Diddy in his back. So I guess they're just trying to say that he's gonna support him in trial. I don't know, but there's a lot of craziness that's happening in the trial already. Michael B. Jordan out of nowhere. Come on, son. He just finished Sinners. He's doing well. He's doing very well. So let's break this down. We're gonna watch a couple of videos of all the craziness that's happening. Shout out to KB Live. You could go check out the full video. We're gonna react to this.
On Monday, this trial is going to start, and it could last a month or two. I don't think it'll take the whole 2 months, but it could last up to 2 months. But it'll be a very
Also, too, he's facing 5 federal charges, okay, including RICO conspiracy, um, sex trafficking, transporting to engage in prostitution. So, yeah, it's serious.
quick process. Now, there are a few other updates that I need to give in regards to this case. Right, yesterday we talked about this attorney, Mark Garagos. Mark Garagos is a famed criminal defense attorney. He represented people like Michael Jackson, Hunter Biden. Now, he's not representing Diddy. He does represent Diddy's mother in a separate, non-affiliated issue, but he doesn't represent Diddy. His daughter, Teeny Garagos, does represent Diddy, though. She is on his legal team, and yesterday we seen the prosecution calling Mark Garagos out over an interview that he did with Harvey Levin on the Two Angry Men podcast, where he called the prosecution team a six-pack of white women and kind of implied that they were targeting Diddy because of his color.
So let's talk about the lawyers. So the prosecution now, we know, it just came out today, that they have 5 lawyers on the team, all of whom are 6?
6.
Now, the ones I know of 5, all women. Is the 6th a woman?
Yes.
Okay, so
Yes.
6 women, all white. All white.
Correct. That's my understanding. I've only seen a couple of them, or know of a couple of them, but my understanding is you got a 6-pack of white women.
Now, remember, Mark Garagos is not part of Diddy's legal defense team. However, he has been seen in the courtroom on the sidelines chatting with Diddy's attorneys. That includes his.
So I'm only showing you this because his daughter allegedly is the one that's representing one of the lawyers that's representing Diddy, and they was trying to put a gag order on him for him not to talk in public. You know what I mean? So that's where we at with this character right here. So we're gonna also have academics break it down. because he did a very good breakdown with this explosive academics right here. And you guys,
Sexually
let me know what you think.
exploited her during his alleged decades-long reign of sexual terror. But the prosecution team admitted that during jury selection this week, that it's been having trouble contacting the person or her lawyer who's been dealing with undisclosed personal issues. Wow. I don't know if Diddy paid him off, but one of the witnesses is like, I got my bread, I'm good. I never wanted to see this nigga go to jail anyway. I just wanted Brother Love to show me some love. Okay? So witness 3 is like, peace, deuces. So Cassie, she's the lead. And the second person, we don't know yet who, I haven't even been able to pinpoint who it could be. But witness 3 is like, deuces. You feel me? King Combs just gave me the back. I'm out of here. I'm not trying to, you know what I mean? Like, yo, it is what it is. All I wanted, I told that bitch ass nigga he should have paid me from the get-go. I wouldn't have been no witness in no motherfucking case. It's clear. Well, actually, I don't want to insinuate that. Did he pay nobody off? But come on. Hey, we all knew what this was, chat. All these motherfuckers wanted was some bread. All these motherfuckers wanted was some bread. Bag secured. I'm out of here. Bag secured. Bag secured. Peace out. I'm out of here, right? Okay. Now, let's see. He said, we do not know if she intends to appear. Chat, you know what this looked like? Remember when they couldn't find a driver in the Tories case? They said, where the driver at? We don't know. The nigga showed up on the last day of trial. We do not know whether she intends to appear, and we're trying very hard to find out because we're having trouble communicating with her counsel. Prosecutor Maureen Comey, which is the daughter of James Comey, former FBI director, said on Wednesday when pressed to give an update on the situation. Comey, who's also worked on the prosecution that convicted Jeffrey Epstein, Madame Ghislaine Maxwell, told the court on Monday that the witness does not live locally and may not even show up. And if we try to enforce a subpoena, or even if we try to enforce and try to subpoena her, and they say they want to call her, if they want to call her. They said a potential pretrial issue comes just a week after the feds say that they have spoken with the woman's lawyer and learned that the accuser planned to use her real name, okay, during the testimony, rather than the pseudonym that previously she had asked to use. So they're saying that the woman at first was like, nah, y'all can use my real name, just like how Cassie is supposedly going to use her real name. Except this person just said, I'm going to catch y'all niggas, okay? I'm going to catch y'all niggas. I'll be back. I'll be back, all right? Prosecutors promised to provide another update on Friday morning when the jury of 12 New Yorkers is expected to be finalized in the bombshell racketeer and sex trafficking case. The feds have 3 more alleged victims set to testify, including Sean Combs' ex-girlfriend, R&B singer Cassie, and 2 other women who will testify on the pseudonyms, according to court records and sources. A 5th accuser will be allowed to testify as well, even though Combs is not specifically charged with any crimes related to her, because of her accounts mirrors the coerced sex accused of the other victims, according to the recent ruling by Judge Arun Subramanian. Okay. By the way, me and Vlad were arguing. I don't know what indictment Vlad was reading. It's 5 victims. It's 5 victims, people. 5 victims.
Yes, he's right. So there's 5 victims, and then 1 is ghost.
Okay? Only 3 are expected to testify. Okay? The oddly missing new rapper, who was 55, is accused of helming the Bad Boys Records as a criminal enterprise that abused and assaulted women, carried out kidnappings, and at least 1 arson, and paid bribes. By the way, this is a predicate act. Actually, not a predicate act. That's an overt act. They're not going to have to be forced to prove that Diddy blew up Kid Cudi's car. It's just going to be as a matter of fact of testimony in terms of what they call overt act under the RICO charge, okay? Paid bribes to cover up illicit acts. Among the eye-popping allegations, jurors here, Combs forces his ex-girlfriends into drug-fueled days-long sex performances, which are called freak-offs, in which Combs would masturbate until the partners had sex with male workers. He's pled not guilty to the charges that carry a maximum life imprisonment. Okay? Now, that was the only thing that was kind of a bombshell thing that kind of came down today. What came down today that was also a bombshell, let's see if we can find it. Diddy. Can't find it now. Let's see. Diddy Oddi. All right, fuck. Here we go. Bingo. Got it. So this becomes now important. Remember that guy who, you know, he ran up in like Trump Doral and he shot up the place and he grabbed like a flag or whatever the case is. Essentially, when he was, he was shot in the leg that day, but when he was questioned by investigators after he was brought to the hospital, he basically said he used to be a sex worker and he mentioned Diddy. This is way before. This is in 2018, way before Diddy was ever. By the way, if I'm speaking fast, I'm not drunk. So if I was drunk, I'd speak slower. But I'm still off caffeine. So I'm on it. Brain firing 1,000,000 miles per hour. So Jonathan Oddi he ran up in Trump Doral. Like, I think he had some issue with like Trump or something like that. Fucking tried to shoot some shit. And then they called the cops. Cops showed up, shot his ass. And essentially, when being interviewed by the detectives, he brought up really unrelated things. He was like, hey, listen, yo, I used to be a sex worker. I used to be a sex worker for the stars, like Diddy. Diddy used to hire me to fuck Cassie. And basically also admitted that he signed an NDA and got a payment of around like $5 million. But also he claimed that he contracted herpes from his sexual dealings with Diddy and Cassie, which, again, if he's saying it, let's keep that moving. Now, a lot of that was pretty much hearsay, and people said this guy's kind of full of shit. Like, he's just making shit up. But of course, when we see Diddy get investigated, we're like, kind of matches a couple things. He also said a couple other things about Rick Ross and these other people, but we were like, it felt like bullshit until the indictment came. But even then, we were saying, this guy's still full of shit. Now we get to find out a really explosive thing happened in court. Apparently, actually, I don't know if it was with court. A picture of the NDA actually emerged on Wednesday, which is today, that kind of backed up his story, tying him to the rapper. And they're calling the rapper Sean Combs. Let's kind of read through this real quickly. It says this: a former porn star who allegedly shot up Trump's Florida resorts before claiming to have been Sean Diddy's sex slave had signed an NDA with the disgraced rapper, according to the report. He was arrested in 2018 after he was reportedly caught on camera carrying a U.S. flag ranting about the president as he stormed into the lobby of the Trump National Doral Golf Club before getting into a shootout with the cops. Following his arrest, he made a series of claims to the police, including that he has been kept as a sex slave by Combs, previously released video from interview shows. He said, I had sex with Cassie Ventura and Sean Combs. Basically, he would masturbate and tell me what to do to Cassie. I was like a sex slave for them. That's what I was. A picture of the alleged NDA was signed by Oddi and Combs in Miami in 2014 emerged on Wednesday, seemingly backing up the porn star's ties with the rapper who's facing alleged trial for alleged sexual abuse and trafficking. He agreed to sign the NDA for $5 million, and it was signed around the same time as he was divorcing his wife, Tonya Troutwine. She told Daily Mail, which was first published the document. Let me see. Is this a document here? Do we have a picture of the document? Let's see. Is this recent? Could we? What the fuck? Where is this thing? Oh, you'd have to subscribe to see it. Okay. So it looked like they published it today. Bingo. Okay, but our lives was completely going different paths. So he's talking about his divorce with his wife. He said he met Diddy around a time at a party at the ultra exclusive Star Island in Miami Beach, Troutwine believes. That's his former wife saying it about him. As Oddi spent less time with his wife, because they were going through a divorce, she believes he started partying more with Combs and Ventura. That's Cassie. Diddy has just has those radiating personalities. And I can tell he really enjoyed the attention. He likes to be the king. Johnny would have played perfectly into that. Johnny is Oddi. Troutwine decided to get out of the marriage. That's the wife. Decided to get out of marriage with Oddi because she realized he was having an affair with fellow porn stars. They said they had filed for divorce in 2014, but they were on still good terms. He kept on insisting we signed the divorce paperwork, which I thought was very odd, how he wanted to get things going so quickly. It was only later I found out that he had signed this agreement. So apparently his wife now believes that he signed an NDA with Diddy for $5 million, and he wanted to end the divorce proceedings with his wife that he didn't have to bust that $5 million down. Oddi claimed that he was just making $2,000 a month as a fitness trainer and that his net worth was a negative $1,800 as in divorce documents. Despite that, he went on a spending spree in less than a month after the divorce was finalized, buying 5 distressed properties for $765,000 in the space of 2 months. And that's what property records in Miami-Dade say. All the properties are purchased mortgage-free, suggesting they were bought with cash. This would have been around the same time that he allegedly got the $5 million from Diddy. So it looked like his purchasing habits after going through a divorce, saying he was broke, negative $2,000 in the hole. Basically, he then buys a property or a couple of properties for $800,000, and he buys this cash. So you would think he probably did get that $5 million. Troutwine lost contact with Oddi until she heard about his dramatic shootout with the cops in May 2018 after carrying the American flag, blah, 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 blah. Okay, he faces charge of attempted murder. Okay, who cares about him? Let's get to it. It says, I don't think it's a coincidence. So this is his wife talking. It says, I don't think that thing's a coincidence. So if it's anything, any of this is true, that Diddy abused Cassie or was being aggressive, Johnny would have definitely softened that situation, would have tolerated the abuse instead. He would have tried to help the situation and make Cassie not feel bad about it. She said she's spoken to her ex-husband since his arrest, and that said he heard his interrogation video with the police had resurfaced in the wake of the damaging allegations of Combs. Ventura accused Combs of, okay, but we know that. It said, he's scared I will expose him. Okay, this is what the interrogation stuff said. Now, we've seen this interrogation footage before. I'm going to play some parts of it. Jonathan Oddi interrogation, and let's play the parts about Diddy. Let's go. So this is a...
Ben Mercedes worked.
Okay. Now, some people have watched me. You guys have seen me play this a bunch of times, but I like to keep everything compact if people haven't watched for a long time. So let me run through this real quick. This is the interview that's being quoted, but this is what he said. This is in 2018 when he was caught after a shootout, and he was actually shot when he ran into Trump National Doral. Let me put the speed at 1.25. By the way, chat, if I am what's going on? Oh, chat. If I'm speaking too fast, because I could tell I'm a little wired. Read.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, he's part of what's called the Boule. The Boule is a branch of the Illuminati. Okay. It's the black people. Okay. I'm from Africa, so I'm not a racist. Okay. You're my brother, so I like black people. Okay. My mom, I was raised by an African woman in my house. Okay. She was just a servant, but she was
He was just a servant.
Okay.
That's wild.
I had settlement with Sean, okay? And he belongs to that agenda. That's why he's so famous. They land all the contracts. It's his attorneys, which are Mark Garagos and Ben Mercedes. Ben Mercedes worked for
Now, very interestingly enough, right? Remember, Mark Garagos, we keep hearing that name. Who's Diddy's lawyer now? Diddy Tenny Garagos, which is his daughter. So the guy who represented Diddy back then in
That's the guy in the beginning I showed you guys. The lawyer that almost got barred. Well, he's not really got barred. He almost got a gag order against him for speaking crazy about the prosecutors.
Getting this settlement with this guy after supposedly he was a sex slave and he supposedly contracted herpes and whatever the fuck the case is. He got paid off with a $5 million settlement. Supposedly Mark Garagos kind of handled that. Now, Diddy's charged with sex crimes. Who handles his sex crime? Mark Garagos' daughter, Tenny Garagos. Is it just a coincidence, or maybe Diddy has some secrets that he knows the family of the Garagos knows, and he's keeping it within the family? You know, all pun intended, right?
Bad Boy Entertainment for 4 years, and I worked for Hillary Rodman for 5. Okay, when I take Sean the threat of death on me. Okay, I don't have it, but I can make it available under secrecy. That means that I wouldn't be liable because I don't want to be getting framed for anything. Okay. Right. I had sex with Cassie and Sean. Basically, he would masturbate and tell me what to do with Cassie. I had like 15 encounters, and I heard lots.
15 encounters. Wow.
Yeah, if he could prove that, he's done.
Like, you know, pause.
For transporting.
Why Diddy kept?
Because he was flying them out.
We had read in Cassie's lawsuit that Diddy would ask her to find men with big black dicks. Now, if we're going by her lawsuit, and this is pause this whole conversation, but it felt like the type of person that Diddy wanted to see have sex with Cassie were black males with large, you know, what do they call it, phalluses or whatever, like penises, right? This guy doesn't fit the bill. Now, I'm not talking about his meat. I'm talking about look-wise, if we're going off what Cassie said. It was black men. This guy's not a black man. Why would Diddy want this guy? Who knows? Maybe this was a kink, or maybe this was Cassie's request. Why did this guy look like he's losing his hair, whatever the case is? Why did I want him to fuck Cassie? Don't know, right? Now, remember, he also admitted he was a porn star. So it's also like, that's going to be, if sex workers even testify or they're a part of this case, we're going to figure out how would they find these people. Was Diddy and Cassie watching porn together and be like, oh, look at this sex worker right here. We want them to do it, right?
Business, because what they would do is Sean talks a lot on the phone and on the TV with people and stuff, and I was like a sex slave, okay? For them, that's what I was. That's all right? I caught herpes, and I came back and I sued for the herpes and won. But they did Mark Garagos and Ben Mercedes were his attorneys, okay? And Christopher Leon's here was my attorney. They asked me to turn in that, which was the video recording, and I did so. They gave it back to me accidentally, and it's possible, I threw everything out, it's possible I can produce a copy.
Gotcha.
It's possible, I'm not sure. Now, how does this lead to war start from?
Okay.
The Mercedes family, Ben Mercedes, that works with Mark Garagos. Mark Garagos used to be Michael Jackson's attorney.
Yeah, out in Los Angeles.
Yeah, he had he dropped Michael and they OD'd him, okay? He didn't overdose, they OD'd him, because they keep the royalties of the music. Michael alone made $860 million alone last year, okay, in 2017, which who keeps that royalty? The music companies. Who represents the media and entertainment in the United States? Most of them, Mercedes does. Kenny Mercedes, which is Goldmember Mercedes shot out of New York, okay? So what they've been doing is, they've been promoting a hate agenda against Trump. So people hate him, okay, because they know he is very alpha. Okay, very alpha in the sense that he likes money, he likes to make money, and he likes women, and they know they want to defame him in certain ways with Stormy, with other people, because they want him out of the government, okay? But it ain't happening because it's too smart for them. You understand what I'm saying?
You're trying to, right?
Don is intelligent. We have a similar type of intelligence and overview of things. The only thing is he's not seeing that Hillary is a distant.
Can you imagine if Stormy Daniels show up in court? I don't know if you guys remember who Stormy Daniels is. She's the one that allegedly was messing with Trump. So this is the same entourage. This is the same crew. So Diddy will invite this dude to bang Cassie, and then also Stormy will be hired to the same, I guess, channel for Trump to do his thing. So that's what the celebrities do. You know what I mean? I guess that's why he's breaking down.
And Obama had a different plan for him. You understand? No offense with Obama. I love each and every American, but he was part of that 9/11 agenda. He's a CIA agent, an ex-CIA agent. That's why there's so much identity issues with Obama.
But like, at this point, you might have to kind of look at this guy and be like, yo, let's go back and watch and see everything he said, because he might be spitting some facts here.
Basically, Osama bin Laden never existed. It was a creation of the CIA, and it was Obama
This is where I think he's
in the
losing.
cave, talking shit and looking like an Arab. And then they bombed the Twin Towers, okay? So my problem is, I'm here to expose each and single one of them to the American public for the crimes committed on September 11th, 2001, and therefore, okay?
Now tell me though, how all of that led up to Thursday night, Friday morning.
Well, I've been trying, my settlement put me in a box. Basically, I couldn't talk because I was going to be sued. So I let it be, but
Anyway, that's enough with that. So yeah, this is where we at. Diddy is facing 5 federal charges, including the RICO, conspiracy, sex trafficking, transporting prostitutes across borders. Yeah, this is where we at. It's only day 3. There's so much more that's going to happen, and I'm here for it, Cloud Babies. But before we leave, right, have you guys seen the Game situation? So Game now just lost his Calabasas mansion. I believe that mansion was worth about $4.5 million. To a lady named what's her name? Where was she at? Priscilla Rainley. This is some serious craziness. So they met in a VH1 reality show, right? And then she ended up winning a court case for sexual harassment against the Game. She won $7 million. And since then, she's been trying to collect. So finally, there's a motion in court to start collecting. So the first thing she went and did, get that house. So let's watch the homie right here, hip hop.
His mansion. Now,
Break this
according
down.
to All Hip Hop, a judge ordered it sell to help cover the $7 million judgment owed to Priscilla Rainey. Once again, 2015. This has been going on for almost 10 years, 10 plus years now. She finally is going to get some money. Now they're saying that the sale of the house, it should be worth about $3.2 million. Back in January, the game
3.2, excuse me. I said 4.5.
filed a motion to, dismiss the whole claim, but the judge is, going forward with this, and it's sad. Now they were also saying, right, because I guess there was some funny business going on with the title and Whack 100, who we know, Cash M Jones,
So yeah, that's a story I heard that the game put everything that he owned, all his assets, under WAC 100's name. So just so she wouldn't get anything. This been going on since 2015. So that's 10 years she's been trying to collect. Finally.
Was I guess they both of their names, were on it, and they were going after alter ego doctrine, meaning you could have a separate business, right? But when they pierce the corporate veil, when a company tries to pierce the corporate veil, they try to say that, all right, you created this business to do this. You created this business to put it in this thing to hide it from this. You create this business and it's acting as one, not separate from yourself. Because if you have a business and your person is two different entities, if you exercise those entities the way you're supposed to exercise those entities. Now, there's a lot of ways people can find out. They can go through your bank records to see what you're spending. There's other things that they can, do to find out, if your company is an alter ego, but look it up, dig into it, man. A little educated over here, so we know what's kind of going on with the whole situation. See, when you're in business, for a long time, you learn things like this. You learn about, judgments and people. I used to actually do when I was doing my credit, thing years ago, people's bank accounts. I want a piece of those assets. I need your house. I need your car. If you got jewelry. Now, somebody who's in a similar situation is Dame Dash. Dame Dash is in a similar situation to where he had a, judgment entered against him. He ignored it, and it got to high levels to where he can't, afford to do anything with it.
See, that's another story I heard. That during the court trial, he was not even showing up. There was excuses of like dentists, like to saying that he couldn't fly because of his tooth, whatever the situation is. If you're getting sued for SA, which is huge, well, back then, 2015, I don't know if it was as crucial as it is right now, but that getting sued for that, you're gonna lose million. You should have show up every day to defend yourself.
So if you ignore it, they can either put you, in prison. There's a lot of things they can do. But if you ignore a court order, you can be put in prison for contempt of court. Does it happen often? I don't know. I'm not a lawyer, but it does happen. And we seen. I did a story last week where a judge was talking about, definitely, possibly throwing Dame Dash in prison if he did not. I should say jail if he did not comply, with the court order to come in and share his finances, share his W-2, share, what he got going on financially, so that the person that has a judgment against him can, discertain how much money they can get, what they can get, what he owns, because it has to be paid off to satisfy this judgment. Now, another way you can go, I'm surprised the game didn't go. He may go here now. Maybe it's too late. It's bankruptcy.
It's too
I'm
late.
surprised he didn't file bankruptcy. I guess he thought that it's something that he could do, and keep, move things around. But in this country, it's very hard to do. It's you have to set yourself up from the beginning to avoid stuff like this. Once you're in it, once you're tied up in litigation and something's already done, it's over with. It's almost like somebody committing a crime. Like, you ain't think about it before, you just acted. But now you're trying to go back and clean up your steps, and it ain't gonna work, bro. You had to already say, all right, let me prepare myself for this before I go into this. Let me cover my steps. If you didn't do that, you're going to miss a step. And it looks like the game missed some steps. Unfortunately, he's losing his mansion. As of right now, anything could change. And, at least it takes down some of the debt. But that's not a good look. That's not a good look. And I'm gonna say this: I don't blame the game. I wish he would have fought it, right? Because if she's lying, she's lying. But if she's lying, you can't let her go to court and beat you, right? Because if you don't say anything, then all the judge could do is listen to her side. But if you go in and you fight it, and you got the means to fight it, now if you ain't had the means, that's one thing. If you ain't got the means, you don't got the means. But if you have the means to fight it, you have to defend yourself. You have to defend yourself. So even Dame Dash, like it's you know, and some stuff is cut and dry. Some stuff is definitely cut and dry, whatever the case may be. You did something, you got to pay for it. I understand that aspect of it. But Christ, like, come on, man.
I agree. I
Come
agree with
on.
him 100%. So yeah, man. This is where we at. We have Diddy going crazy. Michael B. Jordan is all in the sauce. We have the game losing his mansion.